car to me is an interesting way of converting fossil fuels to fun. So the car was sort of a college graduation present from myself to myself. It was sitting on Craigslist for quite a while. It was a bit of a rust bucket, but the idea was just to kind of fix it up for a little bit of a canyon tour. One night, became almost stranded pretty close to my parents' house here in Thousand Oaks, and ended up just driving it here, parking it, getting a ride back home to LA. After sitting here for about a few months, my dad got sick of it and decided we need to do something with it.
I had read about the Peking to Paris race, and after the 2013 race, there was a big article in one of the car magazines, and I read about it and thought that's a cool race, but I'll never do that, until I got to the last paragraph of the article, and it said, if you are ever thinking of doing this and not spending way too much money, there's 3 cars we recommend you look at, which was the German Ford Capri and the British Hillman Hunter and the Japanese 240Z. And when I read that, I thought, I have a 240Z in my garage that's not running. Maybe I should call Christopher and see if he'll sell it to me, and then we'll fix it and do this race.
I've always liked mechanical things. Growing up, according to my parents, I was always taking things apart and putting them back together. So I had a pretty good idea of what I wanted to do to it to rally prep it. The front has a bunch of tube strut reinforcement. Big skid plate, big bash bar up front. The engine is a specially built super low compression L27, so it's bored out from the standard size, but also low compression to deal with the bad gas in Mongolia. We feel pretty prepared. The last time we did this, we were definitely scrambling at the last minute, just because we didn't really know what we didn't know, but this time we have a pretty good feel of what we need to bring with us. Even little things like having little map holders in the cockpit that we didn't have last time, make it easier to navigate, things like that. So going forward, the car's shipping pretty soon. We definitely have some work to do, but it's a manageable amount. Need to do some engine tuning and get some final parts, pack the car up, set up the suspension, and put on a boat. I'm Chris Burry, and I drove and am driving again a 240Z from Beijing to Paris.
I'm TJ Burry, I'm the navigator, and Christopher won't get there without me.
If you were to compete in Peking to Paris, first and foremost, you would get an adventure, pure and simple. There's no other way of describing a journey which takes in half of the world in an old car. How the adventure pans out, though, depends on a number of things. You might get lost, your car might break down. How you react to these problems is what will define your adventure.
It was great. It was fast, it was challenging, we loved it.
By the time we get to Gaydon, the pre-rally briefing, some 200 days before we leave the Great Wall of China, there's a real head of steam building. Excitement is mounting. The crews are meeting each other for the first time, they're meeting the organisers, and they see a map on the wall, and the full scale of the event becomes clear.
These are the waypoints here. Hello, 67. Well, it's been a weekend of pretty much the training of the whole, basically the GPS, safety, mechanical, routes, visas, basically the whole, trip in a nutshell. But it was a 2-day event, so it was quite extensive.
We're at the British Motor Museum for the introduction meeting for the Peking to Paris 2019 event, and we're here to sort of get dialed in and get some lessons in a couple of things and spend the first day learning navigation, sort of get familiar with our GPS, Garmin units, and how to travel by waypoints locally around the countryside, which was quite nice, I think, and then sort of figure out where we are as far as our preparation of the car, of our paperwork, what we need as far as safety equipment, what we can expect as far as camping. Basically, I think an overview
Of the
of
whole
what
thing.
to expect. So, I mean, maybe we're halfway there.
Yeah, it was a bit of
No?
a full plate with
I mean,
visas and.
Well, I think also we found that we probably are further ahead than we thought in certain regards.
Yeah.
You know, in certain ways. So
Came in a little bit nervous, I think, and then once we got to talk to people and meet, you know, other participants, and we realized, well, wait a minute, we're actually, like Derek was saying, we're pretty far ahead as far as everything goes. I mean, there is some logistic stuff that has to happen with visas and you know, a lot of paperwork.
The participants come for their own reasons. It's a very prestigious event, and winning it is something that a lot of them want to do. There are, however, people who are just there for the journey. They just want to enjoy the world in a car which they've loved and cherished and maybe built and prepared themselves.
now it's just really making sure we have everything coordinated for Beijing, and you know, the shakedown of the car in December going down to Cabo will really show us where we're sitting. I've got great confidence in what we built, but I do expect that we're going to have some issues to remedy. So
yeah, I agree. I know Mexico, so I love it, and it's my journey that I've made many a time. So I like to share it with Derek. So it's gonna be fun. It'll be a good time to test the car. It really will be. I mean, their roads are
comparable to Mongolia.
I think they're comparable to Mongolia without really, you know, knowing that as a fact. But it's 1,000 miles each way. Those are real miles.
Yeah. So this is the Monet G200 rally unit we'll be using to track our distances and be able to coordinate with the route book. And this here is the pickup that will read the wheel speed and give us our distances on the computer screen here. So we're just working on coming up with our mounting for that unit. We'll see if this fits. I personally have done a lot of navigating on my own and rallies on my own, driving and navigating. So I kind of, when you're following a route book, it's pretty easy, but never done anything by waypoint.
So, what have we learned since we revived the rally in 1997? Well, we've learned quite a lot. We've learned that there is a healthy supply of people out there who want to prove that they can drive the impossible. The Peking to Paris myth, if I can call it that, is a little bit like the Everest myth. People want to do it because it's there. It takes a big leap to take an old car and drive it halfway across the world. And to an extent, this myth feeds itself.
Doing a trip like the Peking to Paris is something that, you know, that only happens 3 years, and, you know, God knows how I'm going to afford this thing, but somehow I'm going to do it.
To me, the race was fabulous. It was a little different from what I expected, because I thought it was a regularity race, which means you have to be on time. So it turns out it's really a speed race, so you have to actually race, which was very different.
The rally had become such a lifestyle almost, and a community that instead of a sense of accomplishment for making it all the way, it was more a confusing sense of what now.